Probably my proudest legislative accomplishment is passing 988, the National Mental Health Hotline. Just like 911, you wake up in the middle of the night and your house is on fire, you don't have to find a phone book, everyone knows dial 911. Well, now, as of a couple years ago, we have 988, the National Mental Health Hotline, that I co-authored with a fellow veteran across the aisle. And this was a piece of legislation that seems so simple in retrospect. It's statistically saving thousands of lives a month. And it's hard to imagine why we didn't do it 20 years ago. But it was a hard piece of legislation to pass, and yet it's amazing the impact it's had. Calls went up 50% when we had this new new number. Text, because you can text 988 as well, went up not 50%, but 1,450%, which is an amazing measure of the young people who tend to text, who are getting help, but it's also a sad measure of the youth mental health crisis in America. Now, I was asked to speak to a school group, as often happens in the spring, and there's a group of middle schoolers who came down and were sitting on the Capitol steps. And one of these kids asked me last year, the report, said, "Hey, what do you do up there that matters to me?" A little bit of an arrogant kid, but it was a fair question. And I talked about 988 because they're posting it all over schools, and a lot of kids are getting help, literally having their lives saved by simply having this number that everyone can remember. But I forgot that middle schoolers don't know statistics because their eyes were glassy. It was like the least successful speech I've given in my life because all these kids were like, I don't know what 1,450% means. It means nothing to me. I'm in 7th grade, Congressman. But I took my picture with them like I was expected to do. And then a woman from another school group came up to me and said, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but I just want you to know that your law saved my daughter's life. And then she introduced me to her 13-year-old daughter. And I share that story with you because one of the fundamental questions you should be asking is, why the hell do I even want to do this? That's what my close friends ask. Seth, are you losing your mind? You want to double down and go back to Washington for 6 more years? I do it because of people like that. Because even in a very broken government, even with Congress as dysfunctional it is the only Congress that we have. So we got to fight to make it better. And even in a very polarized and divided Washington, you can still really make a difference in Congress and people's lives.